ready to be dispatched. Stand by. Off they go. Classy Macro, clearly the first of them to bounce out from the inside. Rusty Spirit, though, comes across for you, looking for the front with I Hope You Dance. Also, Float Our Boat is starting to quickly surge around them now, looking for the lead. Hip Wiggle's going to tuck just behind those, getting early cover. Down on the inside, Light in the Black from Rubalicious Rose. A length and a half, Ancient Remedy, as the field starts to string out. Over on the inside, Run for Winnie. Domineer in the back half with Heaps of Moolah, Kazkazi, and the tail ender is Belafonte Boy. At the 1100, travelling down the back straight, Float Our Boat is floating along in front by a length. Running second over on the outside, I Hope You Dance, sent up by Pike now, and is trying to rate here on the outside of Rusty Spirit. 1.5 to Hip Wiggle, who's going to follow the favourite. Over on the inside at the 800, Classy Macro, and a half a length away then is Rubalicious Rose. 1.5, Ancient Remedy, Light in the Black down on its inside, keeping company. A bit more than a length to Domineer, Run for Winnie. There's Kazkazi with its move from back in the field, and Heaps of Moolah is second from last in front of Belafonte Boy. Nearing the bend, they approach the 400. Float Our Boat will be the first into the home straight from I Hope You Dance there, who's getting involved in a good old bumping duel with Rusty Spirit. Down the outside is Hip Wiggle, followed further back Classy Macro, Domineer, and Rubalicious Rose as Hip Wiggle ranges up, grabs the lead from Float Our Boat. Pike is still working hard on I Hope You Dance. Down the outside is Classy Macro, but it's Hip Wiggle clear. Hip Wiggle's going to go on and win the first from Classy Macro and Float Our Boat. I Hope You Dance ran fourth. Heaps of Moolah, Rubalicious Rose running on with Belafonte Boy. Behind them was Domineer, and they were followed further back by Kazkazi. Ancient Remedy never got into the race. Rusty Spirit after that duel there with the favourite I Hope You Dance after heads turned for home. Dropped right out, had the wind taken out of its sails, I would suggest. Then came further back behind them, Light in the Black, and last of all is Run for Winnie. So Hip Wiggle wins it for Chris Parnham. Hip Wiggle, number 11, gets home to score there, the Universal Ruler filly. And she makes the step out here to 1600 with effect. Fourth running in the prep. And she got a lovely run in behind I Hope You Dance, who got tangled up when Yule came out with Rusty Spirit there, or in fact tried to hold Pike with I Hope You Dance, and they did brush together on more than one occasion. And Hip Wiggle there just let loose, bounding away from them, and goes on to record its first win at career start number 11. The Universal Ruler filly, she's out of a Desert Prince mare, Belly Dance, and part owned by Carol Morton, M. Burrows and Freddie Fairthorne, S. Blacksall, also the Razadask Punters Club, A. Hayden, the Halo Racing Services, R. Munns and Mrs. S. Munns, D. Munns, L. Munns, and Mrs. D. Pratt, G. Pratt, Ian Russell, P. Clark, M. Cruz, B. Mazza, Mrs. K. Willoughby, trained by Danny Morton and ridden by Chris Parnham, and gave the filly every conceivable chance. Number 7 is second, Classy Macro. Vital Equine 3-year-old from Pretentious, Steve Rowe and Peter Nucky. Certainly a better run produced by Classy Macro there this afternoon after getting involved in a speed battle last start. And Float Our Boat, who led them, held third, the Alfred Nobel 3-year-old from the yard of S.J. Miller. Ryan Hill there in the saddle. Now the time for that race is 1:38.95. They've run home in 35.39. The margins a length and a half by 3/4. 11.73. 8, I Hope You Dance, finishes back there in fourth placing and misses out once again. Some good runs in the race. Heaps of Moolah. Belafonte Boy ran the 1600 strongly at the back end. Ancient Remedy never really got into it. Domineer was well back and ground home okay without ever really flattering. The second event, the Laver Rod Western Race, picks at Ascot Horse of the Year plate. 1,300 metres at 12.37 with number 3 Powerful coming out. A field of 8 will run in the next on the card. 1-4-6-2 Charlton Eddie. He'll dominate the market there and go around at very, very short odds to beat number 4 Dad's Big Headed. Could be the value play for us. 6 Rock Hard Oamaru and 2 Miss Ivy League. 1, 4, 6 and 2. Our thoughts in the second from Belmont. 12.37 is starting time. Hip Wiggle ran 4s on the SP. Classy Macro, $101. And Float Our Boat, $12 there. So that first four divvy, a very good one there with the favourite back fourth in $21,412. Hope you got a slice of the action there, folks. We've got race 2 coming out of Belmont Park at 12:37. Won't be long before correct weight is through after the first.
Downstairs I have stable foreman in Vinny. Hip Wiggle, has it been a horse that you've been hoping to get her to Belmont where she has the whole straight to wind up like she did today?
Yeah, that, and also the actual mile where Chris Parnham rode an absolute treat of a race. I got a one back, relaxed, nice and beautiful. Got into a great rhythm, and we had a lot of time for her early days, and just took a while to actually break her maiden status. So,
has it just been a maturity thing? Is it a physical thing, or just taken a little while for the penny to drop?
Yeah, it's actually probably mentally. Like she probably just track work. She just probably wants to rush her work, and so basically with a pulling build on, we just teach her to relax and get into a nice rhythm, which she did today.
Today she absolutely did that. Do you think a mile is going to be her trip going forward?
I think so. I think probably on the dam side that she'll probably stretch out to an actual trip. So hopefully, yeah, she'll get out to a mile plus.
Well done on breaking through today, and looking forward to seeing what she can do in the future.
Beautiful. Thanks, Brett.
There's Vinny from the Danny Morton stable taking out the first with Hip Wiggle.